Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are just 9 days away from Tennessee taking on Virginia down in Nashville. It is go time, man. I'm excited about this football team. The closer we get, the more I get fired up. I look at the depth on this team in certain spots. I think the secondary, there's a lot of competition going on there. The wide receiver room is absolutely loaded with talent. Look, I get it. We've got some question marks, right? We've got some question marks on the offensive line, particularly with the injury to Cooper Mays. Also on the defensive line, Elijah Simmons is out. From what I've heard over at VolQuest, he could be out until October. This team does have some question marks and concerns, but I think they're deeper talent-wise than they have been since Josh Heupel arrived. We had a fun live stream last night with the guys from A to Z Sports, Zach and Charlie. One of those guys has this team winning 11 games. The other said he felt like they could win 10 games. There's a lot of hype, a lot of buzz. I think this football team could do something special. You guys know I've got them at 9-3. 9-3 this year. I think they take a little step back on offense, but I think they take a step forward on defense. What do you guys say? Put your predictions into the chat, but I think there's a lot of buzz around this team. But I wanted to get into this topic last night on the live stream. The disrespect. There's always a disrespect in the media. Some of you guys, we started to talk about it. Some of you guys in the chat said it's always been this way, Boogie. What is it? Why is there always a lack of respect for Tennessee football? We're going to get into it and talk about it, but as always, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up, all that YouTube stuff. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. All kinds of fun live streams coming your way. First fan call-in show of the year is on Sunday, but I want to ask you guys to do me a favor. If you like the videos, you like the content, you like the live streams, you enjoy the community, I ask you to make that pledge. $1. Hit the join button down below. If you've been thinking about it, if you enjoy everything that goes on this channel, I need your support. You guys give me the stability to do this thing full-time as a career, and I'm appreciative for that. But hit the join button. You can become a member of this channel. $1, 99 cents a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows. There's all kinds of fun perks and benefits to it, but I'm asking you, if you enjoy the channel, to help me out there and hit that join button. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the disrespect for Tennessee football, because this is something that came out this week. The 2023 preseason coaches all SEC football team announced. Now, there's some buzz out there. Tennessee winning 10, 11 games. Can they finally knock off Georgia? Surely this football team is going to have some guys in this preseason all SEC team. Am I right or am I wrong? We look at the first team. No volunteers in sight for the offense. We scroll down to defense. No volunteers in sight. Let's go on, move down to second team offense. You finally see a volunteer on this list. Second team offense, all SEC. You see their wide receiver, Brew McCoy. Now, the interesting thing is, I don't even think Brew McCoy is going to be the most productive wide receiver in our offense. Now, he's a great wide receiver. I think he belongs on this list. I think he's going to be a guy in a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 situation. You run him to the chains, you get him the football. He's big, he's physical. The play we saw him make at the end of the Alabama game, absolutely legendary, something we will remember forever. Going up, playing big boy football. Brew is physical. I love me some Brew McCoy, but I think you're always going to see that slot position, whether that be Squirrel White or Dante Thornton. I think they're the guys that are going to be the most productive in this offense. But there you see, finally, second team offense, Brew McCoy. We roll on down, second team defense. Still not a player in sight for the Volunteers. Let's roll down, third string offense. You finally got a couple of offensive linemen here. Javonte Spraggins, Cooper Mays. Obviously, we know the injury with Cooper Mays. Are you guys concerned? I want to see what you guys think in the comments. I know there's some conspiracy theories. There's tinfoil hat guys out there talking about Cooper Mays and his injury being worse than it actually is. Now, from the sound of it, he could be ready by the opener, but I think you're going to protect him. I think you're going to keep him safe. The key, the goal, we talked about this last night, is getting Cooper Mays healthy, getting him back to 100% for that Florida game. Now, what does that mean? Do you want to sit him out until the Florida game, or do you want to get him some contact, get him some live action before he goes into that game? Would you play him in the Austin Peay game, or would you wait until you go on the road to play in the Swamp? I think Javonte Spraggins is a guy, I think he sees himself like a Darnell Wright type of player, a guy that can maybe go in the first round of the NFL draft. It's a money year for Javonte Spraggins, and I think he is a solid foundation on this offensive line. You know, we've talked about this offensive line and the concerns at left guard. We've talked about the concerns. Is John Campbell going to be good enough? Who's going to lock down the right tackle spot? Jeremiah Crawford. The things that are going on with Gerald Mincey kind of bouncing from the left to the right. But one thing that's solid is that offensive center in Cooper Mays, and then the right guard in Javonte Spraggins. So let's scroll on down, see if we got any other players here on third-team defense. Nope. Nobody else. That is it. So you've got a couple of offensive linemen, and you've got Brew McCoy on this list. What do you guys think of the disrespect? Who else belongs on this list of 2023 preseason coaches all SEC football team? Where's Joe Milton? Where's a guy like Squirrel White? I mean, again, you look at the list. Where in the world is Joe Milton? I'll give you Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to have a pretty good season down there at LSU. I'll give you KJ Jefferson. But you scroll down to the third team, Will Rogers at Mississippi State. I mean, God rest the Pirate's soul. Rest in peace, Mike Leach. What is Will Rogers going to do without the Pirate running that offense? Is Will Rogers going to be better than Joe Milton? And I understand some of that is the question marks around Joe. Orange Bowl or Bowling Green? Which Joe Milton do we get? Joe's got all the potential in the world to go out and have a big year. But a lot of you guys say, who cares? What does a preseason all coaches SEC team, what does it even matter? Does it mean anything? And it doesn't. The bottom line is it doesn't. But I do hope it puts a chip on the shoulder of some of these football players. But something that does matter to me is the Reese's Senior Bowl. And this is from utsports.com. Vols have 19 players tabbed to Reese's Senior Bowl watch list. Now, does the Reese's Senior Bowl matter? I used to think, no, didn't really matter. Who cares? What difference does it make? But the Reese's Senior Bowl is a widely regarded as the preeminent college football all-star game. And this is the kicker for me. This is something that I was educated on last year, the first stage in the NFL draft process. The longest continual running all-star game has taken place in Mobile, Alabama for the past 74 years. So it is important. There's going to be a lot of scouts there. Starts the draft process. Tennessee has 19 players on this watch list. Just going to kind of scroll through this real quick and take a look at some of the names on this list. You've got Tyler Barron, all SEC fourth team, according to Athlon. You've got Aaron Beasley, a guy that, I was really kind of surprised we didn't see on that list. Maybe third team, second team, Aaron Beasley. I think he is going to have a huge season for this football team. He kind of jumped on the rocket ship to the moon last season, the way he led this football team, kind of made us forget about Jeremy Banks. Aaron Beasley was the guy. And I think another year in this defense, another year of development and growth, I think Aaron Beasley looks to have a big year. What about Warren Burrell? I don't really know what to expect from Warren Burrell. Again, we talk about the secondary and the added depth there. The competition that's going on is going to make this football team better. Does Warren Burrell ultimately slide down to the star position? Because I think that's kind of the feature spot on this defense, and I wonder if that would kind of light a fire under Warren Burrell. But you've got Danico Slaughter, Brandon Turnage, Kamal Haddon, Warren Burrell. You got a lot of players that are competing for that starting job. Does that competition kind of light a fire under the tail of Warren Burrell? You can go on down the list. John Campbell Jr. has yet to play a game in the SEC. First time in this offense we will see. McAllen Castle's a guy that you guys love. I'm starting to love. What I like, I knew he had physicality. I knew he was going to be successful in the run game, in the blocking. I did not know he had the pass catching ability that he has. So we will see, again, a lot of NFL draft potential. Kamal Haddon, this is go time, brother. It's time to stop talking and start playing. I think the athleticism, the skill set is there. Does he develop it? Does he keep his head on straight and have a season? Roman Harrison on the edge. He's a guy that I think is having a pretty good fall camp. Probably one of the best defensive linemen as far as camp has gone. So we'll see what Roman Harrison does. Gabe Judy-Lally, again, a guy that I think is going to compete maybe for that star position, maybe for one of the corner positions. Ramel Keaton, you put Brew McCoy's second team wide receiver. Ramel Keaton is not going away quietly. Ramel Keaton is going to continue to compete, continue to, what's the word Josh Heupel likes to use? Strain and compete. I think Ramel Keaton could surprise some folks. I'm excited to see that wide receiver room, what they actually look like with the rotation. I think you've got too much talent there to roll with three. Do they go with some more 4 wide receiver sets? I know they like to go 3 wide receivers and a tight end. It'll be interesting to watch, man. I think Ramel Keaton, Brew McCoy, Dante Thornton, Squirrel White, all too talented to just roll with 3 of those wide receivers. Of course, you see Brew McCoy down there on the list as well. Cooper Mays, we've already talked about. He is the anchor. We talked a lot about him last night on the live stream and how much him being out actually impacts this football team. We need Cooper Mays back. We need Cooper Mays healthy. Tamarian McDonald is back healthy. Joe Milton's the guy, right? That's the one. I think if I asked this last night, compare this football team to a year ago. If Hendon Hooker was coming back and everything else on this football team in 2023 was the same, there would be talks of Hendon Hooker for Heisman. There would be talks of a national championship run. There would be so much more hype around this football team. It's just that big lurking question mark over Joe Milton. And I had JD Piquel on the show about a month ago. If you missed that, go back, check out that live stream. Really good conversation with JD. He thinks Joe's the dude. He thinks he's that guy. He thinks he's going to go out, compete, and play at a high level. And if he does, I think he's going to be a first-round draft pick. You know, I was listening to the VolQuest podcast earlier today, and Brent Hubbs made a very interesting point. You know, Joe Milton, when he first got that starting job a couple of years ago, he had only been on campus for a couple of months, right? Now he's been in the system going into year 3. He knows this offense. He knows this system. He is going to be more comfortable in this offense. Does he put it together on the field? That's the biggest question mark. I think that is the biggest question mark. But are you guys surprised? Look at it. Walter Camp watch list, Davey O'Brien watch list, Maxwell watch list, Johnny Unitas award candidate, Reese Senior Bowl watch list, all SEC third team. Are you surprised by the 2023 preseason coaches all SEC team? No mention of Joe Milton. Instead, we're going to roll Will Brooks out there on the third team. Gerald Mincey, Keenan Peely, Jabari Small. Again, that running back room just absolutely loaded. So much talent in that running back room. You cannot take a day off. You cannot take a play off. You cannot. You've got to go out. You've got to compete every single play, because if not, somebody is right behind you. If Jabari Small's not out there competing, guess what? Somebody's going to take over, whether that be Jalen Wright, Dylan Sampson, or dare I say the true freshman, Cam Selden. You better come to compete every single day of the week. Looking for Big Omari Thomas to do something this year. Jacob Warren, Squirrel White, D. Williams. I think we could see D. Williams doing some stuff on special teams, and then Jalen Wright wraps up the list. But I wanted to get into this last night. Didn't really have time. Went about an hour and a half again. Go back, give that live stream a watch. Always a good time talking Vol football with those guys. But hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, not necessarily on the disrespect from the coaches poll. Who really cares about that? But about this football team in general. Are you confident? Are you confident? Who would you put on that all SEC list going into year 3 of the Josh Heupel era? But that's going to do it for this one. Make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out our merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is in the description below. And again, I encourage you guys to hit that join button down below. If you like the content, support your boy Boogie, what we're trying to build around here. I would greatly appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.